This is the story about a broken bucket and what happens when we let our crack show and our gifts flow. There was once a gardener who kept a beautiful garden just outside their home. And when I say beautiful, I mean beautiful. Imagine big, red, ripe tomatoes, green peppers, bright yellow sweet corn, pink strawberries, a sheltering avocado tree, and flowers everywhere you looked. It was a garden that fed their family and sometimes even the neighbors. Every morning and every evening, the gardener carried 2 empty buckets, yoked across broad shoulders, down a winding path, past a little stretch of pavement where children sometimes played, all the way to the watering place. And every morning and every evening, the gardener filled the buckets to the brim, then walked back up the hill, across the pavement, across the winding path, and back home. The buckets were proud, very proud. You could hear it as they squeaked on the yoke.
Look at me. Perfect bucket. Old bucket. Excellence achieved.
We're just doing our job.
Yes, but exceptionally well.
For a bucket.
For a high capacity, low maintenance, weather resistance, top performing bucket.
Day after day, morning after evening, year after year, everything working exactly as planned. Until, no one knows exactly when, maybe the swinging of the yoke, maybe the hot sun and cold water, or maybe gravity with its own ideas. One bucket split open, and that's when the story truly begins.
Wait, I'm sure I filled you both to the top.
There it was, a long crack down the side of one bucket.
Ah, the mystery solved. You've been dripping and dribbling all the way up the hill. Well, I could get new buckets. But money doesn't grow on trees. At least not on my tree. Otherwise, the stewardess campaign would be much easier. Glue, that's it.
So she glued the crack shut. The next morning, down the hill, along the winding path, across the pavement, back up the hill.
Half empty.
The glue hadn't worked.
Oh well. Perfect is the enemy of good.
And for 2 years this went on, 2 years of carrying water, only to deliver 1.5 buckets instead of 2. The garden adapted. Drier days, fewer fruits, a little less tending, but mostly the leaky bucket felt ashamed.
Look at this crack. It's enormous.
You look fine.
Fine? I leak half my water every single day.
Some people would call that sharing.
I'm not generous. I'm defective. I used to be a perfect bucket. I was envied by the other buckets for my performance, pale par excellence. Now I can't do the one thing a bucket is supposed to do: hold water. This completely ruins my retirement plans. I had a bucket list. take long soaks in a hot tub, learn to paint watercolors, maybe become a motivational speaker.
Yes! Guest sermons at UU churches. You'd be the perfect pitcher preacher, the liberal dribbler.
It's over. I've kicked the bucket. The gardener should just throw me away.
The next morning, the bucket spoke up.
Oh, excuse me.
Who said that?
It's me, the bucket.
Which one?
The leaky one.
All right, what's on your mind?
I need to apologize. Because of my flaw, you've had to do all this work, and you didn't even get full value from our efforts. I'm so sorry. Honestly, I'm surprised you haven't replaced me. Left me on a curb with the signs, free bucket, some leaking. I drip all the way up the hill. By the time we get home, I'm half empty.
Half full.
This is not the moment for optimism. I'm flawed. I'm useless.
Precious.
Wait, what?
The gardener smiled and lifted the bucket high in the air.
Look at the path.
The bucket had spent so long staring at its crack it had never looked around, but now it did. And that's when it saw something that was astonishing. Along one side of the path, from the watering hole to the cottage, was a ribbon of color.
Flowers. Thousands of flowers.
Notice how they mostly grow on your side? When I realized I couldn't fix your crack, I changed what I was doing. I planted seeds along your path, and every day you watered them.
Me?
Yes, you're dripping, you're dribbling, you're leaking, your generosity. You thought you were failing, but you were helping something grow.
I never noticed that before.
For 2 years, I've finally been able to enjoy this walk. 1 bucket for the garden, 1 bucket for me. Without you being exactly the way you are, we would never have had this beauty. If it's not for you to apologize, it's for me to thank you.
The bucket looked again at the path, the flowers, the butterflies, the dragonflies, the bees, the children laughing, stomping puddles, all the life that had quietly grown beside it. It realized it had believed a story about itself, a story that said you only have worth if you are perfect. But there's another story where cracks let life through, where gifts and flaws grow tangled together. A story of interdependence and transformation. A story where we change what we're doing and discover beauty we never planned.
None of us are perfect. Not buckets, not gardeners, not people listening right now. Perfection doesn't make a beloved community. Coffee hour does.
And together, we can grow a garden. Sometimes the thing we thought was broken is what helps the flowers grow too.
And for the first time in a very long time, the leaky bucket felt full.
Thank you to our narrator.